Hi, everyone, and welcome to English 1301. I'm Dr. E. I'm your professor for this very, very fast-paced mini-mester. Yeah, we have a lot to do in just 3 short weeks, so I'm going to try to provide you with all the kinds of guidance and tools and resources that will hopefully help you be successful in this course, and that will include videos for most assignments. You'll have a video that walks through what the expectations and steps are for each week. So let me know along the way if you have any confusion or concerns. Please feel free to reach out to me. We also have a Q&A discussion board where you're free to ask questions. If you know the answers, you're also free to jump in there and help your colleagues out. You can post anonymously if you don't feel comfortable showing your name, but there are no stupid questions, right? It's a space for everybody. There's also a student lounge discussion area where you can ask one another things or exchange contact information, build community there, one that I won't be overseeing. I won't be a part of it. I'm not going in that discussion area. So feel free to uh, talk amongst yourselves. So I'm just going to jump right in and kind of get to where to start for our week. Right, so this is, let me move my noggin out of the way a little bit. This is what our main course area looks like. This is what it looks like in D2L, right? I want you to start here if you haven't. Hopefully you've already started there, you've already viewed that video, but if not, just click in the start here and it will expand that announcement, and you can click here to watch the video that just kind of walks through D2L in general and how we'll utilize it in our course. Where you should be going pretty much every time you log in is to the content area. So this is where we have all these modules that are located on the left-hand side. Everything's meant to be a helpful resource to kind of guide you and offer all the materials. But I'm going to take us to our week 1 module, and this is what it looks like. So, greetings and salutations. Welcome to the course. We are in week 1. This is a link to the Remind app. For those of you who are interested, this is one of those things that is not required. It is not, and your link, you'll have an actual direct link to the course here. But Remind is just, if you're not familiar with it, it's just a way to kind of get in touch, right? Though I have student success hours, which are essentially office hours, right? Depending on your background, what college, university, everybody calls it something different. At Lone Star College, we call them student success hours. Um, I will have those, every day, Monday through Thursday, but outside of those, you are definitely welcome to reach out to me through the Remind app, which is essentially like Google Chat. It's a text, right? You essentially are sending me or announcing to the whole class, like, just take some time with it, right? And it's one of those, it is optional. You do not have to download the app. You do not have to utilize it. I know in the past I've had some folks who are, if you're parents, you already have so many different notifications for your kiddos' schools, or if you're guardians or something of that nature. It's just an additional kind of way to keep in touch if you need it, or I will send out reminders that way. But any reminder that's me sending out through Remind, I will also be posting in D2L. So again, it is completely up to you. I don't want to weigh you down with so many notifications, so many text things going off at the same time. Anyhow, so this is our schedule. And I've tried to kind of color code it so that it doesn't seem quite so overwhelming, because if you have not taken a mini semester before, or even a summer course, because summer courses are accelerated, right? We are taking 16 weeks from a regular semester and smushing that into 3 weeks. So it's a lot. And it's one of those things where it feels like even more over December, because a lot of us have, family obligations. We have a lot going on outside of that. We may be, in between dorm spaces. If you are usually at another school and you're trying to, bang out this credit somewhere else, you're in between living situation. Regardless, it's a lot. So I've tried to present the information in an approachable way, but it's one of those times where it's approachable to me. My brain, it makes sense in my brain, but it may not make sense in your brain. So just take take some time with everything for the course and know that if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, especially in the first few days, that is completely normal. Okay. Just take deep breaths, right? Know that everything you need to be successful in the course is loaded in the course. It just takes some time to kind of click around and get used to it, especially if you're not familiar with D2L, if you haven't utilized this learning platform before, if you're more used to Canvas or Blackboard or anything else. Just be patient with yourself, right? And be kind to yourself. Okay, so those things in the blue are just essentially everything that will be available on Mondays. I will release everything for the following week on Monday, all the videos, all the assignments, and everything. I do not release things ahead of time. So you will not see week two's assignments yet because my brain can't handle it. It's too much stress on me. You can certainly get ahead in your reading. You can look at all the different kinds of assignment guidelines. So if you look at the syllabus schedule and rubrics area, it has all the kind of future assignments, but the specifics are not going to be available until I release those on Monday. Because of the fast pace of this, I will try to, I try to get them out before Monday, but Monday is kind of my deadline. So if you are panicking because at, noon on Sunday you're not seeing anything, Monday is the ultimate deadline. Anyhow, everything is available this week, you know, in the blue. And then in the kind of peach color is everything you need to do essentially first, right? So we have two due dates every week. One is Wednesday and one is Sunday. I usually do Thursdays and Sundays, but because we are working with a mini mester that has December 25th as a Thursday and January 1st as a Thursday, I thought maybe making it Wednesdays and Sundays might be a little bit easier for us given, those things we might be doing on those days. Not all of us, but some of us, right? Okay, so for the first week on Wednesday, you have a discussion post that's due. You have a mind map assignment that's due, as well as a quiz. You will have two quizzes per week. One is on Wednesday, and then one is on Sunday. So for this quiz, it's only going to be for those things that are covered up until that point, right? So everything in peach will be on the quiz, right? And the random word for the first quiz is going to be keyboard. Just go with it. That's the random word is keyboard. Okay. I try to put kind of little incentives to watch every video, so just be aware of that. So for that quiz, you'll have questions related to this reading, related to this video, the mind map assignment, that kind of thing, right? And then when you get into the second quiz that's due on Sunday, it'll essentially be everything for that week. So we'll then add the reading from chapter 5, food journal, all of that good stuff. Okay, so you'll see we're starting off strong. We have high value grades because so much is just crammed into 3 weeks. So you need to make sure that you're staying on top of these grades. Please note that we do have a grace period for uploaded assignments and quizzes. So if, say, your mind map is due on Wednesday, you do have a 48-hour grace period to submit that from Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. The discussion posts don't have that kind of extension because it's meant to be a discussion, right? We're meant to be, posing questions or posing ideas to one another, engaging and interacting with one another. So the grace period can't apply or everybody will be behind, right? Because of the way that the schedule is structured. So quiz and mind map, you do have a grace period on. Food journal and quiz 2, you also have the grace period. Okay, and this is covered in the syllabus, right? But I'm just trying to kind of reiterate some of those finer details. All right, I want to note that I'm asking you to respond to at least 2 of your colleagues in the discussion area, right? At least 3 sentences, show that you've engaged with their ideas, etc. But know that if you see the plus sign before and after the points, that essentially means that those are bonus points and it is not required, but I've tried to build in a few options for bonus credit just because, right? Because it's taking your time and it's not something that's required. You get something out of it. Okay. So I've also put for next week. So for those of you who want to get ahead, you know what you need to read. We have a lot going on. So by all means do that. But I want you to note that this is not a course that you want to just, sit one day and complete everything for the week. It's too much. It's not only too much of this face speaking at you in various videos, it's a lot of reading, it's a lot of information. break it apart. Make sure that you are taking breaks between watching the videos, taking breaks while you're reading for the course. Um, be as kind to yourself as possible because it's so easy in such a fast-paced class to get very burnt out, right? And to feel very overwhelmed. So just take it one step, one assignment, one reading, one video at a time. I promise you it will it will help. Okay. All right. So that's what our schedule looks like. And then if you scroll down, again, as I've mentioned in the D-Tool introduction video, this means nothing, just ignore it. So these are all the videos you should watch in this specific order, right? You're watching what will be loaded as the link here. There are some items to review. Note that those items are covered in the videos essentially, but these are kind of the printed out versions. This is the link to remind. Our first discussion is going to be, so if you click on this, it's just going to be an introduction, right? So I've laid out all the guidelines and all the expectations here. I've asked specific questions, and so you can just list 1 through 6 essentially and answer these questions. I'm not requiring this to be in like an essay format or something, okay? I have included my own introduction just to kind of give you an example. So know that I am going to probably be a bit wordier than you are. You do not have to follow my length, the length that I've put in there. But I also expect more than just basic answers, right? It's a writing class. This is our first writing assignment, right? So make sure you're revising, editing, doing all that you need to do. Use Grammarly, use any tools that are available to you aside from like ChatGPT. I mean, please, this is not meant to be something that stresses you out enough to feel like you have to use those. Okay, so if you go back to week 1, that is the first item, the discussion post, right? And then if you go back, you do have a mind map that's due. There's a video that will walk through what the overall expectations are. This one is going to be based on Irvin's article, which is what is academic writing. So that is going to be the focus. That is what all the little bubbles, and this will make sense when you watch the mind map video, all the little bubbles should be the main ideas from that work. Okay. I do want you to note that this is posted in the content area, right? So your book and the additional readings are right here. You should click on this to find the book. Okay, you just scroll down here and this is the table of contents. You just click around to find the required reading for whatever week. Everything is available here. And then if you go back to the book and additional readings, that's where you'll also find Irvin's article, okay? So I'm scrolling down, I'm just in the weekly module. You have your week 1, quiz 1, and then moving on to Sunday assignments, you have a food journal assignment, which again, watch the video. Here is the prompt. I have a template, please use the template. It drives me absolutely nutty to open an assignment to grade and the formatting is off because people have not taken advantage of using the template. So just go ahead and do that, right? Just help me out here. So you can download this and it's just essentially a blank Word document, or it's a document that's already set up in MLA format that you can go in and add all the details to. So this is what it looks like. You just put your name here, put my name, it's just set up in this way. Double click up here to change the last name and to let Microsoft Word do all the work for you when it comes to formatting. Okay. All right. So that's your food journal that's due on Sunday. I'm going down to the bottom as well. And then your quiz 2, which covers the entire week. I do have a checklist here, but just like most things in D2L, you can check this, but it doesn't do anything for me, right? It's one of those, so if you check the mind map, that does not automatically mean that it's been submitted. The checklist is just a tool for you. It's just a tool for you to go in and say, okay, I've done this. It's something that's just meant to help you out, so that you can physically go in there and note that you've done what you need to do. Let me know what you need this week. I'm going to be trying to check my email as often as possible. I'll be available for office hours. If you can't meet then, hit me up during or on Remind, or we can meet at any time. Just get in touch and we can set up a meeting. But good luck and welcome to the course.